Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be a review on the new Becca and Jaclyn Hill collaboration collection. I have here the face palette and the eyeshadow palette. I'm going to give you guys my review and thoughts on the palettes, and then at the end I'm going to discuss the whole controversy with the eyeshadow palette. There was a little bit of controversy about the face palette, but I'm going to discuss all of that at the end of the video. So for now, I'm going to start with the review on the palettes. I'll start with the face palette. The packaging, sorry if you can't see that, the packaging is really nice. It does feel nice and sturdy, but it's not heavy. Everybody kept talking about the packaging and saying how nice it was and how thick and sturdy it felt, and for some reason I was imagining that it was going to be like super heavy, but it's not. But it's definitely good packaging. This is not going to break if you drop it or anything. I mean, try not to drop it, but it's not going to like fall to pieces if you drop it. The only thing, I don't know if I'm just like stupid, but I have problems opening this. I don't know if you can tell, like it clasps all the way down to the bottom, and I don't know, I have problems opening it. So, sorry, I don't want to blind you guys. I'm just gonna, okay, yeah, sorry. The mirror is really, really nice. Everybody kept saying how nice the mirror was, and I was like, who gives a shit about the mirror? Like, it's a mirror. It's whatever, right? And when I opened this and I saw the mirror, I was like, damn, like, that's a good mirror. This is better than any of the mirrors I have in my whole house. It's a really, really nice mirror. It's just so clear and perfect. Like, I don't know, this mirror is really nice. Okay, sorry. Here are the two highlighters that Jaclyn created. This is Prosecco Pop, which is new, and this is Champagne Pop, which is the highlighter that she made with Becca over a year ago now. Champagne Pop is now permanent to the Becca collection because everybody loved it and begged for it to be permanent. So it is permanent. Prosecco Pop will not be permanent, as far as Jaclyn says that it's not ever going to be a permanent color in Becca's collection. This is Rosé Spritz. It's a really warm, peachy, shimmery color. It's gorgeous. It reminded me a lot of Orgasm from NARS. Next is this shade here. It's a really, really warm shade. It's called Amaretto, and to be honest, I probably will not use this shade. It's super warm. I am not warm, and I'm very fair, so I don't know. I just don't really go for warm colors like that, but on somebody with a tan, it would be really, really beautiful. This one here is Pamplemousse. This is a really bright, intense, beautiful peachy pink color. I will use this one. It's a little intense, so I of course have to use a really light hand because I don't want to look like a clown. But for somebody with darker skin, this would be gorgeous on you. I'm going to swatch all of the colors for you so that you can see everything. So there is Prosecco Pop. It's a very, very yellow gold. Not really my color. I'm super fair, so this doesn't really work on me. I don't know how Jaclyn pulls it off, honestly, because I feel like I'm not that much lighter than her. I'm a little bit lighter, but I mean, I don't know. It works on her, but for me, not so much. Next is Champagne Pop. So there is Champagne Pop underneath of Prosecco Pop. Champagne Pop is a really peachy shade. Again, this is a little too dark for me. It's a little bit darker than what I typically would go for. So I wasn't really sure if Champagne Pop was going to work for me, because when Champagne Pop was originally released, I never even got to see Champagne Pop in person at all. When I went to the store, they were all gone. Even the tester was gone. Somebody had bought a tester, so I honestly didn't know if it was going to work for me. I figured that it was probably going to be a little bit too dark for me, but yeah. So next is Rosé Spritz. There is Rosé Spritz. This is my favorite out of the whole palette. Next is Amaretto. Right there. You can see it's super warm. I could almost use this as a bronzer, but it'd be a little too warm as a bronzer, so. And next is Pamplemousse, which you can see is super intense. I definitely have to use a light hand if I want to wear this. So overall, the quality of this is really, really good. The blushes blend out nicely, they're super pigmented, and same for the highlighters. The quality is good. It gets an A+ for me. The packaging, A+++, because of the mirror. Overall, this palette really doesn't work that well for me for my skin. I think somebody with a tan or medium skin, this would be like gorgeous on them. This would be ideal. I wasn't sure if Champagne Pop was going to work for me because I never even got a chance to see it in person. But I bought this palette knowing that this palette most likely wasn't going to work for me. But I bought it to support Jaclyn because I've been watching Jaclyn for a really long time. And I just really like her. I feel like she's a good person, so I bought this pretty much to support her. Of course, it's beautiful, and I will use it. I'm not going to get as much use out of it as other people would, but I pretty much bought it to support Jaclyn and to add to my collection. I basically bought this to support Jaclyn and because I am a makeup junkie. I'm a makeup artist, makeup lover. It's kind of like a collector's item to me. Anytime something like this is released, I feel like I need to buy it just to add to my collection because, like I said, it's a collector's item, and I do actually have this on display with the eyeshadow palette in my room because I'm a collector. So that is why I bought it. Even though I knew I wasn't going to get too much use out of it, I bought it for Jaclyn. Now for the eyeshadow palette, same thing, the packaging is really nice. They kind of have the same like design on them with the bubbles. Jaclyn said that they were supposed to be bubbles, so yeah, the bubbles. And same thing, the mirror in here is really, really nice, and I'm just gonna go ahead and swatch them for you so you can see them. So the really light shade on the end is called Chardonnay. That's Chardonnay. Next one is Champagne Toast. It's a very like warm, bronzy shade. Next is, I think it's Cordial. It's a really pretty light, dusty mauve pink shade, totally one of my colors. Next is Cognac. I think that's how you say it, Cognac. There it is. It's a really warm, beautiful chocolate brown shade. And next is Bordeaux, right there. A really deep, like plum chocolate. Again, I love that color right there. These colors are gorgeous. These are all my colors. I knew that I was going to get a ton of use out of this palette because these colors are gorgeous. The mauve, plummy sort of shades are what I love so much. I definitely knew that I was going to get use out of this. I give this palette like a B. I got a good palette, or a decent palette at least. The first two shades are slightly dry. Not super dry, nothing terrible. I've definitely had worse. It's good, it works, it goes on the lid nicely, so I can't say that it's bad. And this shade is super smooth. All three of the mattes are really, really smooth, creamy, buttery. They swatch beautifully, as you could see. But this shade right here, when I try to like pack it on and like blend it out, it kind of blends away basically. It kind of disappears. I've been trying to work with it a little bit more and see like how I can get it to not do that. But yeah, I feel like it kind of blends away. I don't know if that means it's like too soft. I don't know, because it is very soft. It's not dry, but when I blend it, it kind of, I feel like it just disappears on my eye. The packaging gets an A+ because it's beautiful and the mirror is really nice. So overall, this palette is pretty nice. Like I said, I think I got a decent one. So with that being said, I'll go ahead and discuss the whole controversy on this eyeshadow palette. If you don't know what I'm talking about, a lot of people were complaining about the quality of their eyeshadow palette, saying that they were dry, they're not Becca's original formula, and Jaclyn went ahead on her Snapchat and said, yes, you're right, this is not Becca's original formula. They sent it out to a different lab that they've never used before to create the amount that they needed for this launch to be on time. And so many people were complaining, saying that it was very dry, very patchy, that it just wasn't good, wasn't swatching well, wasn't blending well. And for that reason, Becca pulled the eyeshadow palette from the collection. I got mine because I ordered it as soon as it launched on the website, before it was supposed to even launch on the website. It launched like maybe 20 minutes before the time that it was supposed to. Now, I had no idea that this was going on until Jaclyn had brought it up on her Snapchat, because when I got mine, I thought it was good. It swatched good, I liked it, I loved the colors, I was so excited about this. So when she brought it up on her Snapchat, I was surprised because I had no idea that people had bad palettes. And after she said that, the more I used it, the more I realized that, you know, maybe she's right, because this one shade doesn't blend very well, and these two shades are slightly dry. Now, I can't compare this to Becca's original formulas because I've never owned a Becca palette before. I strictly bought this because it was Jaclyn's palette. So like I said, I can't compare this to an original Becca formula, but what everybody was saying was that this did not compare to Becca's normal formula, which Jaclyn explained and said that they ended up sending it out to a different lab that they had never used before, which I don't think is very cool of them. I don't think they should have done that, especially with such a big launch. They shouldn't have taken a chance like that. Jaclyn says that they had heard amazing things about this lab, so that they thought it was going to be okay. But with something like this, I just don't think they should have done that. I don't think they should have sent it to a lab that they had never used before. People paid $40 for this eyeshadow palette, and $40 for 5 eyeshadows is a lot of money. And people paid that money for Becca quality eyeshadows. So I can understand why a lot of people were really frustrated, because $40 is a lot. For these 5 eyeshadows, I mean, yeah, they're gorgeous, but $40, I mean, Morphe palettes are $22, $23. So $40 for this is a lot. And in a way, I feel slightly cheated by Becca. I feel cheated by Becca because they kind of cheated. They sent this out to a lab that they had never used before, and that was not smart of them. Of course, I'm sure that they learned, but it just wasn't smart of them. Now, I don't think that Becca is a bad company, because if they were a bad company, they would have never taken this off of the market. They would have never discontinued this from the collection. They would have said, oh well, we want to make money, so we're gonna leave it, and leave it with its shitty quality. They didn't do that. They took it off, which they didn't have to. So for that, I give Becca props, because they totally could have just been like, oh well, we're selling it anyways. I do want to mention that my friend didn't get a chance to buy the eyeshadow palette, so she emailed Becca begging them to send her a palette, and they didn't send her the eyeshadow palette, but they did send her a lot of products. They sent her opal, pressed opal, poured opal, liquid opal, blushes. They sent her a ton of stuff to apologize for the whole situation, which I thought was really cool of them. But I will say that I emailed them just a couple days after she did maybe, and I never got any response. I emailed them twice and I didn't get anything back. I got no response to my email, nothing. So I don't know if they were just being flooded with emails or what, but they got back to my friend and they even sent her products. I didn't even get a response to my email, so that's a little iffy. Like I said, they could have been just like flooded with emails, but I mean, it's been a while. It's been over a month now and I haven't gotten anything back, so that's not really cool. I don't like that. So another disappointment about this palette is, like I said, it was $40 and I was paying $40 for this for a Jaclyn Hill eyeshadow palette. I was not aware when I bought this that Jaclyn really only created one shade in this palette. She only created Champagne Toast, this second shade right here. Becca went ahead and created the rest of it. So, in a sense, I feel like I paid $40 for a Jaclyn Hill eyeshadow. Not an eyeshadow palette, an eyeshadow. I have never bought in a Becca palette before because $40 is a lot for these 5 eyeshadows. But Jaclyn's name is on it, so I bought it. So I feel cheated by Becca and by Jaclyn. Now, I will say that I don't think that Jaclyn is a bad person. I don't think that she did this on purpose. I don't think she's money hungry or whatever people were saying about her. I don't think she meant to hurt anybody's feelings with this. I think she was super excited about the collection and she was like, yes, an eyeshadow palette is a great idea. And she really didn't think much of it. I think she was just super excited and was just ready to go and ready to launch this big collection. And I don't blame her for that. I would be the exact same way. I would be so excited. So, you know, for that, I'm not really mad at her. I'm a little disappointed and upset about it, but I didn't say, screw you, Jaclyn, I'm unsubscribing from you, you're a piece of trash. You know, a lot of people were going down on her and being really harsh, and I don't think that's necessary because she learned her lesson, and honestly, I think she's embarrassed. I would be embarrassed too if I were her. You know, you release this palette with your name on it and you're like, oh, here's my palette, and you show it and you're talking about it and there's this huge launch party for it, and then people are saying that it's shit. That's embarrassing. That's really embarrassing. So I think that the embarrassment was punishment enough. Not that I think Jaclyn should have been punished, because like I said, I don't think she really thought anything of it. She just thought it was a great idea, a great addition to the collection, and she just didn't mean to harm anybody. I don't think she wanted to upset anybody, and if she was money hungry and she just cared about the money, she would have never asked Becca to take it off of the shelf. So I don't think Becca or Jaclyn are money hungry or whatever. They obviously care about their customers, and Jaclyn cares about her subscribers, because otherwise they would have never taken this off the market. They would have said, well, too bad. They would have sold it to a ton of people, and I just think it's really nice that they gave everybody full refunds who wanted it. Overall, I don't think Becca is a bad company. I think it was really not good of them to send this to a different lab that they had never used before, but I'm sure that they learned their lesson from that, and I don't think Jaclyn's a bad person. Like I said, I didn't unsubscribe from her. I still watch all her videos, I still support her, and I will still buy any future collaborations that she comes out with, and she is coming out with her own makeup company, which I will support that too. I will buy from her makeup company anything that I want. But like I said, I do feel slightly cheated from Jaclyn because of the fact that she really only created one shade in this palette. So that was kind of like a serious bummer for me, and unfortunately I waited too long and now I can't return it. I wasn't sure if I wanted to return it or not, because I really thought about returning it just for the simple fact that I paid $40 for this and Jaclyn only created one eyeshadow in here. So, but by the time I had decided, it was too late, so now I have it and I can't return it. But like I said, it's on display with the face palette, so it's a collector's item, like I said. But in my mind, I feel like it's not really a collector's item anymore because Jaclyn only created one shade in here. Yes, her name is on it, but she really only created one eyeshadow in here, so yeah. Hopefully that kind of explains everybody's frustrations on the eyeshadow palette. Those were pretty much my biggest concerns and frustrations, that I felt slightly cheated by Becca and Jaclyn, but I'm not mad. I didn't bash either of them ever. You know, the situation is what it is, and I think that they both learned their lesson, so I don't think that it was necessary to go off on either of them or tell them that they're bad people, because they're not. That's my thoughts on the whole eyeshadow palette situation. I will still use this. I'll work with it, and I will use it because I spent a lot of money on it. So that's the eyeshadow palette. Really quickly, people were saying that there was an issue with Champagne Pop in the face palette. People were saying that it's not the same shade as the other Champagne Pop. Like I said, I can't say because I never even got to see Champagne Pop in person. And people were also saying that it was a little bit dry. In my opinion, it's slightly drier than Becca's original formulas, but it's not bad. It's not dry. Like, you can see that it swatches beautifully. It blends out nicely. Same thing for Prosecco Pop. They're both soft. They're both good. They both feel creamy to me. So I don't know if they did the same thing with the face palette and sent it out somewhere else. If they did, like I said, that's not very cool of them. But I don't feel that mine is dry. I think that it's good quality, so that is all I'm going to say about that on the face palette. Just so you guys know, I did just finish filming this look here, so if you want to see it, check my channel. I don't know if this will be up first or the tutorial will be up first, so if it's up already, you can see it. If not, just subscribe so that you can come back and watch it whenever I upload it. So that's it, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe, and comment down below to let me know if you agree with me or if there's something else that bothered you about the situation that I didn't go over. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye, guys.